My fellow geeks, what is up? Meg the Geek here, and I'm going to be starting a brand new series on my YouTube today called Movie Recommendations. Well, it's a working title, but basically you get the gist. I'm going to be recommending some movies to you. I am kind of known to be having how can I put this? A unique taste in films. Not exactly your Godfathers, your Once Upon a Time in Hollywood type of movies. Granted, they're great, but I tend to love some B movies. Some movies starring our favorite actors and actresses that you may have never heard of, maybe slipped under the radar. So I am here to recommend those movies to you because, well, I think you should check them out. I mean, granted, this is just my opinion. You may hate the movies I'm about to recommend, and you may love them, but that's the power of cinema, the power of opinion, to each their own. Now, some of the movies on this list, you may be like, Meg, what the fuck? Why are you recommending it to me? But then again, some of the movies on this list, you may be like, Meg, thank you for recommending it to me. So, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe, hit those follows. So, without further ado, let's get on to those movie recommendations. Kicking things off, we have Bushwick from 2017 with Brittany Snow and Dave Bautista. What it's about is that a former U.S. Navyman and a college student form an unlikely alliance during an invasion of their city by a mysterious, heavily armed militia. What's really awesome about this movie is that the way it was filmed. It was purposely filmed in a way to make it look like one continuous shot, and it really worked for the film. Not all movies can pull off that sort of cinematography, and it really worked for Bushwick because it always made you feel like you were part of the action, regardless if they were just discussing a scene or they were running from bullets. Bushwick definitely had some Cloverfield vibes in my opinion, without the found footage style or the monsters. And trust me when I say, the last 5 minutes have a twist ending. It had me screaming at my TV, and still to this day, I'm still really pissed off at how the movie ended. But still, check it out. Next up, we have Mafia, aka Jane Austen's Mafia, from 1998 with Jay Moore, Christina Applegate, and the late Lloyd Bridges. It's a major spoof on all crime and mafia-related films at a time where parody films were kind of at a lull. Casino, The Godfather, Forrest Gump, Barney, and The English Patient are just some of the many things spoofed in Mafia. And like The Godfather Part 2, the narrative of Mafia consists of flashbacks and present shots to help tell its story. I was 10 years old when I first saw Mafia, and a lot of the jokes went over my head, but it was always a movie that my mom and I would always love to watch together, and it always has a special place in my heart because of that. So basically, if you're into parody films, what are you waiting for? Go check this out. The third recommendation for today is Bootcamp from 2008 with Mila Kunis and Gregory Smith. Bootcamp is a psychological thriller where at-risk teens are sent to a rehab camp in Fiji, but while there, they're abused and brainwashed. What's interesting about Bootcamp is that it's kind of somewhat inspired by the fact that in real life there are camps like this. And since these camps were introduced in the late 70s, over 40 deaths occurred. And this movie definitely shows how horrible these sort of camps are, and it's just mind-blowing. We have another parody on our hands, guys. It's Jersey Shore Shark Attack from 2012. It was made at the height of Jersey Shore, where so many studios were spoofing the show. Instead of Snooki, you had Nookie. The situation, you had the complication. Pauly D, well, you still had Pauly. Instead of Ronnie, you had Donnie, and instead of Jay Wow, you had Jay Money. Vinny from Jersey Shore even joins in and pokes fun at the show. And while it's supposed to be based in Seaside Heights, New Jersey, maybe like 1 or 2 scenes were filmed there, but the majority of it was filmed in California. Despite the movie being a parody of Jersey Shore, and of course, Sharknado, it actually was inspired by the real-life Jersey Shore shark attack in 1916. The movie has you practically rooting for the sharks. It's beyond ridiculous. Oh, and a cameo from Joey Fatone too. But if you're into films like Sharknado and Two-Headed Shark Attack, you'll love this. The last movie recommendation for today is Good People from 2014 with Kate Hudson and James Franco. It's a crime thriller where a couple discovers a stash of cash at their dead tenant's apartment, and with them being in debt, they take the money and find themselves being targeted by the thief who stole it. What I really liked about this movie is that we mostly know Kate Hudson for doing romantic comedies, so it's incredibly refreshing to see her in a thriller. As with most movies, a lot of the parts are so cliche, but it comes with the B-level territory of the genre. Plus, originality is dead in Hollywood anyway. While the acting is good and the plot is interesting, it's predictable as a whole. So I recommend seeing this if you're a Kate Hudson or James Franco fan, which is how I stumbled upon it. Alright guys, that is my first batch of movie recommendations for you. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Have you seen any of these before? Do you refuse to see any of these? Are you thinking to yourself, Meg, what the fuck, why are you telling me to watch this? let me know in the comments below. And like I said, while you're there, subscribe and like, follow, all that fun stuff. Guys, thank you again for checking this out. Let your geek flags fly high, and I'll see you next time.